Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about getting a regular job versus owning a business. I'll specifically be going over which one should you do throughout the video. Now, I can't tell you which one you should do, but I am going to tell you about the pros and cons of each of them so that you can decide for yourself and make an educated decision as to which one you should try out. Now, I am a good person to explain this because I have the best of both worlds. At the time of me filming this video, I am a full-time elementary school teacher, so I have a full-time regular job, great job, I absolutely love it. And I also have several online businesses that I run, including like this YouTube channel. For me, serves essentially as basically like a business in terms of how I operate it. So I am the right person to ask because I have the best of both worlds. I experienced it both ways. So let's get right into the video. These are the factors to consider. Number one, hours. Okay, with a regular job, you're basically gonna have set hours for the most part. Yes, some jobs have flexible hours, but for the most part, you can't really upfront your work that much. So I'll give you an example. As a teacher, I have set hours. Obviously, you take home things to grade, to assess, to plan your lessons. So there's set hours and then you do some extra and that's basically it, right? It's not that flexible, okay? And I like the hours, I'm not complaining, but it's not that flexible. Whereas for my YouTube channel, sometimes, and even for the rest of my online businesses, websites, articles, ebooks, which I won't go into too much detail about, but sometimes I'll work throughout the summer for I'll do 70 hours a week. And I'll do 70 hours a week for 2 months, and then I'll end up taking 5 months off, right? Or usually, for this YouTube channel, from September until about February, I'll push like crazy. I'll schedule out so much content. And then from February until about July, August, I end up doing a very, very minimal amount of work. So hours are extremely flexible, but you gotta, you're essentially doing more hours up front to free up some hours after. It's not like owning a business, you work fewer hours. I work more hours with my business than I do with my full-time job. Essentially, yes, I basically, when you work it out, I probably do 80 to 90 hours a week in total, okay? But at the end of the day, I'm able to upfront the business hours and then get time off after in bulk, okay? So number two, income potential. When you have a full-time job, the people who make big money, we're talking about the top 1% of the top 1% in a company. Very minimal, you want to make 100 G's a year, you can do that in a job. You want to make 150, 200, you have a slim chance of doing that in a job. But when you're talking about making 3, 4, 500 G's a year, it's very, you can't rely on that on a job. If you want to make mega bucks, you got to own a business or a side hustle of some sort. I have lots of friends that are high up in their own companies, in companies that they work for, and they make good money. I have a close friend of mine that makes about $230,000 a year, but that's basically as high as he's going to go. He's not going to hit 500. He's not going to hit 700. Whereas I have another friend that owns a business. It's his own business. He's essentially a freelancer that works on commission, but he runs it as his own business basically, and he can make 700-800 grand a year in any given year, and he's done it before. So if you want to make the income, income potential, business is the way to go. If you want big potential for big income, if you want easy, decent income, job is the way to go. Simple as that. That's the truth. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I apologize if I'm breaking your hopes and dreams and stuff like that, but this is the reality. I'm just trying to be honest with you, okay? Because I've seen it both ways. A lot of people think I'm going to make 300 when I go and get this job at this company. You might, but it might take you till you're 60, right? And if you own a business, you could be retired at 45. So, it's up to you. Number three, managing and letting go. Now, essentially, when you own a business, you have to manage people. You have to manage the business. You have to be willing to let go of certain things. If you work for a job, someone is managing you. So it's a matter of, do you want to take orders or do you want to give orders? And believe me, both are stressful because I experience it both ways. Both are stressful. Giving orders, you might think it's easier than taking orders, but the onus is on you, which I'll get to in a moment, okay? So both are stressful, but do you want to take orders or do you want to give orders? Which type of stress do you want? Number four, onus. You're at the top of the food chain. You're at the top of the chain of commands when you own a business, right? You are the number one top dog. You're deciding what's going to happen. Therefore, all of the potential reward, but all of the potential responsibility lies on you. Are you prepared for it? Can you handle that? Is it going to cause you anxiety or not? It's up to you. It caused me anxiety at the beginning. Then I learned how to deal with it. Now, like, I'm like, yeah, let's go. I love being at the top of the food chain. I love, dealing with all of the problems, but getting all of the rewards because I'm just good at it. But whereas someone that, doesn't want to deal with the onus of it, a regular job is the way to go because, you only have onus on the work that you're doing, not much more above that. Number 5, do you like what you do? If you don't like your job, if you don't like working for someone, you got to get into business. My dad is a real estate agent. He tried working for someone for, I think, 1.5 years when he was much younger. And basically after that 1.5 years, like even before, I have an older sister that's 8 years older than me. And my younger sister, 2 years younger than me, but that's irrelevant. So even before my older sister was born, he already went into real estate because he said, I can't work for someone else. He did not like what he did in the sense of he didn't want to listen to someone tell him what to do, So if you don't like what you do, business is the way to go. If you like your job, keep your job, right? If you enjoy what you do and you make a good enough amount of money, why would you ever leave it, right? Like, don't always just try and keep up with, like the next person that you're looking at. Consider if you like what you do or not. Number 6, pension/retirement fund from the company, from yourself. A lot of jobs, it's an old way of thinking, but they're like, oh, get this job, you have good benefits and you get a good pension, right? And that seems great. And if you want a mediocre lifestyle when you retire, then you know what? You can get a good pension from your job and you can live a nice mediocre life, downsize to one car, sell your big house, move into a condo. You'll have tons of money to spend on whatever and travel the world, like 4 vacations a year. You can do stuff like that and that's fine, right? For me, like, I want to retire and drive a Ferrari every day, all day. So like for me, just working for someone would not cut it for me. I need to own my own business as well as work for someone to do that. That's, for me, that's how it works. But, I have to, in the sense of if you own your own business, you have to fund your own retirement, right? You can't rely on someone giving you a pension plan. You need to fund your own retirement. And for some people, if you know how to invest good money, then you know what? That's a good way to go. Because then you can invest your own money instead of having a pension plan invested for you, right? Or if you're good at saving your own money, then maybe that's your best option. But you have to take those things into consideration. That, like my dad, for instance, at the time of me filming this video, is about to turn 71, and he still works because he doesn't have a pension. He saves his money and stuff, but he knows that when he stops working, when he retires as a real estate agent, then basically he's just left with whatever savings he has, right? And he's thinking, like, is that enough to last me? If I live to 90, 95, 100, is that enough to last me? And he said no at the time of, right now, so he just keeps working. But he loves what he does. So that's part of it that you have to consider. Okay. Last but not least, number 7, this is the main question you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to put in the work for the potential higher payout? What it comes down to is this. When you run a business, you are putting in more work than if you work for a company. Okay, I'm holding in a sneeze. I apologize. My nose is ticklish. I'm ready to sneeze, but I'm trying to hold it until the end of this video. I'm at the end of the video now, okay? Are you willing to put in the extra work for the potential higher reward or payout? When you work for someone else, you're doing less work than if you run a business initially, okay? But the potential reward payout is not nearly as high. When you run a business, you are putting in a lot of upfront work, but maybe you can ease off and ease up and retire at the age of 45. That's the potential higher payout, but you're putting in 90 to 100 hours a week when you're starting your business, okay? You guys see this version of me right now on the channel, but you don't see when I started my websites, my ebooks, my consulting stuff that I do, okay? When I started this channel, my other 6 channels that I did before this channel that I still have them. I don't really work on them, but I still have them and I built them up, right? You don't see that I was doing before I had kids. I was easily doing 60 hours a week on my business in addition to being a full-time teacher, okay? And it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but it was well worth it because right now, I get my phone, I'm in my driveway right now. My wife's inside with the kids. They're having some quiet time, relaxing. I get my phone, I film 5-10 videos in the car, and I'm done for the week, kind of, basically, or at least I'm done for today, right? And it only takes me, half an hour, 45 minutes, and I've done enough to set me for at least a few days, right? In reality, if this is all I did, I could probably work 7 hours a week and run the channel as is, okay? Posting like 2 to 3 videos a day. I could easily do that. So, that's the potential higher payout, but it took me a long time to get here. So that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to, and like I said, you have to decide which one's better for you. I can't tell you the answer to that. You have to decide whether a regular job or owning a business is better for you. That's completely on you. You have to see what you're good at and work with that. That's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.